or another.
Oh, right.
Our meetings tend to, at least the um, some highlights of our meetings and our joint meetings with the Bicycle Advisory Committee have ended up on Arl Now. I guess they've taken interest. Little bit of controversies that we've had. Sometimes they're a little more sensationalized. When you take the meeting in as a whole, a lot of times if you read the articles, it looks like they're highly contentious meetings when they tend to be a little more toned down. But with that, let me introduce myself. I'm Eric Goodman. I'm the acting PAC chair, and I guess I should say my civic association is Bluemont, or I live in the Bluemont area, and just I'm asking people do this periodically to kind of tell you a little bit about yourself by talking about what your number one pedestrian priority is. And in my case, it's kind of a split priority, but they sort of go together. But it's safety and accessibility is key for me. So with that, I guess I'll start calling people out. So I'm going to read across my screen. Oh, I see John Armstrong just entered, but I will start with Eric Malpelli.
Hi, Eric Malpelli, Old Dominion Civic Association, a PAC member. I'll give a geographic priority. I live right on Langston Boulevard, so the improvement of that corridor is important to me. It's very auto-oriented now, and there's a lot of opportunities to make it more pedestrian friendly and safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I'm going across my screen. Next is David Patton.
Oh, I'm David Patton. I'm a transportation planner for the county. I live in DC, but I've been with Arlington for quite a long while. Oh, top priority. Oh my goodness. Creating new sidewalks where there aren't sidewalks. We don't have a good way of doing that in the county. We wait for developers to do it, or part of big capital projects, and there's a lot of missing gaps. Okay.
Good, thank you. Tom Corns.
Yeah, hi,
Thank
Tom Corns, Cherrydale. I'm one of the original members of this crew. Can't remember the date. It's decades ago, though. In any event, I must say that I'm very impressed by our markings on our pavement markings for all users. It took us a number of years, and I can't say that we won it, but it was the staff that changed their attitude about markings on pavement. I mean, we could not get a pavement marking because it would cost too much to remove it. That was the excuse for several decades. But we're certainly enjoying the benefit of them being there now, as well as other almost magical number of markings we seem to have that are giving us a lot more confidence about where we belong and where others do, and who to watch out for. So yeah, that's what I'm still interested in pursuing.
Thank you, and good to see you, Tom.
Yeah, good to see you.
All right, Pam Van Hine.
Hi, Pam Van Hine. I'm the PAC secretary, and I live in Aurora Highlands. And my pet goal for the next 2 years is to stay on the MTP update advisory group and work to change how we do sidewalks. So definitely in support of what David said and what our county manager says. What we have now is not working, and we need to change it so that developers aren't responsible for maintaining sidewalks ad infinitum, and at some point nobody knows who the original developer and owner was. That was a big problem during the snowstorm. and how we can get more sidewalks in residential areas like mine. I do not have sidewalks on my block. And get rid of the rule that says you need X number of neighbors to support putting sidewalks on their block. Since it's a good for the greater good, they shouldn't really be able to block it in most cases. So that's going to be a lot of work though, and it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of money. And it's going to take a lot of support from all of you. But I'm so glad that so many of you showed up tonight. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, and I sent you a word version of the minutes, Eric.
Okay, great. So sorry, I just
I forgot that you need that.
technology issues for me.
Yeah.
All right. Next person up on my screen is Don Bennett.
Okay, I'm the liaison to this group with the Arlington Neighborhood Advisory Committee. This is the neighborhoods program. I'm in Barcroft, and our huge issue is speeding traffic. We are unfortunately sit between Columbia Pike and Highway 50 Arlington Boulevard, and especially with the construction that's taken place on Columbia Pike the last few years, people have discovered there's really some good cut throughs, and they keep their speed up. So everyone complains about that. We do have quite a few places that are missing sidewalks, so that kind of runs into the problem. So.
Thank you so much. And next up is David Early.
Hi, folks. My name is Dave Early. I am a resident in the Donaldson Run Civic Association or neighborhood. I'm just off Langston Boulevard as well, Eric. So I share some of your interest on that corridor. I am a representative from the Parks and Recs Commission. So I'm going to say that my priority will be access and safety for reaching our parks. And in particular, I think trails as they cross major streets would be a focus for me as well.
All right, thanks. And you said that you're a representative. Are you a liaison to that commission with us? Is that what you're saying?
I think I've been named to this group as well. I'm on that group, and we had a member that just came off. His name it's slipping my mind right now. That was on the Pedestrian Advisory Committee.
As a liaison, yeah. We welcome you and Don. Thanks.
Yes,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
coming.
Thank you both. All right, next up is Patrick Kenny.
Yeah, good evening. Patrick Kenny, resident of Ballston, as well as a member of the PAC. My priorities over the next 2 years, I guess, would be sidewalk safety, particularly in Ballston, where there's a lot of traffic and sometimes confusion with basically cycling, automobiles, and basically pedestrians. So essentially, how can we prioritize safety?
Thank you. And next I have John Armstrong.
Evening, everyone. John Armstrong. I'm in Lyon Village, and I joined a little late. So, 2-year priority, Eric, or
so it's really what is your number one pedestrian priority? But it could be your 2-year priority too.
Okay. I've got a couple priorities. One's just trying to find leaf bags because I've had no luck, but that's probably not a pedestrian issue.
If you keep the leaves off the sidewalks, it might be.
We can talk after the meeting. Yeah, I think my priority is always sort of safe access. I think I already heard that, but just, the option to be able to walk or bike all throughout the county and to do it safely. So you don't have to get in a car if you don't want, and you have access to all kinds of things on foot safely. I'll add another priority, or another thing I've been thinking about lately, is just to be a better member of the PAC. Find more time, sort of kind of read more emails from Pam, participate a little more. It's been hard lately, just very busy, but I have been thinking about that I need to become a better member. But that's it. Thanks.
All right, thank you. And then Jim Feaster.
Yeah, Jim Feaster, a member of the Pedestrian Advisory Committee. I live in Ballston, and I would say that my two top prior concerns would be for safety and sidewalks, not only the existence of or non-existence of sidewalks, but the maintenance, the condition of the sidewalks. Where I'm lucky there, the building I live in is actually just finishing the replacement of all of the cobblestones for which they are responsible, but it's not the best kind of a sidewalk that you want to walk on.
All right, thank you. Have I missed anyone? Looks like, at least on my screen, that I've gotten anyone. Anybody I missed? Okay. Well, with that, let's move on to the next item. We're a little minute or two behind, but not too bad. I'm going to talk a little bit about our last meeting. Some folks attended, some folks did not, but we had a joint meeting last time with the Bicycle Advisory Committee, and Wei Wang was addressed us regarding some of the concerns that we've had about sort of the longer term existence of this committee and the Bicycle Advisory Committee, and what our roles might be. So I'm going to take a moment first to at least go over. She had 3 slides. I actually went back and looked at them. And
excuse me, Eric.
What?
Sorry, did you want to take care of the minutes thing first, because we might lose
you're right.
Eric Malpelli.
You're right. I'm sorry. All right, let's do the minutes then. Okay. So
Okay.
why don't we start with I don't know what folks have read them, but assuming that they've been read and all corrections have been made so far, at least in the form that we have, why don't we start by someone to put out essentially nominate the minutes here.
All right. I move that we approve the minutes of the joint backpack meeting from Wednesday, October 8th. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you. And any discussion of them? Because I know you've all read it. I just realized I did have one typo. I misspelled your last name, David, early. Sorry about that.
Well, you're very kind. I wasn't going to point that out, but I have to say, I mean, I've been part of groups those were the best minutes I've ever read.
Yes.
You're fantastic.
Yes, Sam, we are very, very lucky to
Very
have.
good, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. So
Pam on
we're
this.
And that is one thing that I am correcting, yes. And if anyone has any other issues, fine. No further discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Any dissension say no.
All right, they're
All right, they're
approved,
passed.
and
Thank you.
they're approved and up to date, I guess.
Yes,
at this
and I will
point,
fix
I think
the typo.
I think we lost John, but he's back again. So
Yep, he is.
okay. All right, so let me go into, I guess I sort of jump started into this to talk a little bit about our past meeting with Wei Wang and transportation staff, talking about our role, the role of the PAC and the BAC. So I'm first going to just go over, I have some notes here on what, I guess there were like 3 slides that Wei had on what we should be doing. So first, she said 3 categories. First category was at the project level, and that would be to participate in the public engagement process. So she does want us, she didn't say as a committee or as individuals, but she did say she wants us to participate in the public engagement process. I'm going to come back to that but right now that was the first thing on the list. To sign up for newsletters. She suggested that we keep it informed and sign up for newsletters at the project level. To check Arlington's private development webpage. I don't know what that is, but that's what she mentioned. David, is
Yeah.
that a single
No, that's
location, or is that each project has its own webpage?
well, there is a link through the SPRC page for the projects, and it has the SPRCs. It has the adapted reuse now, and some of the kind of modifications that aren't at the level of SPRCs. It doesn't have the special GLUPs. You have to go somewhere else for the special GLUPs, but it has
Okay.
most of what we need.
Does it have the types of projects that are being that come out of transportation that are really transportation focused, not new buildings?
Oh, no, those are under transportation projects.
Okay, okay. So so the private development really goes back to the SPRC. So she
Yeah.
mentioned that. She also mentioned, this is interest at a project level during construction to report any maintenance of transportation, or I guess is one, maintenance of traffic or other infrastructure issues during construction. So that was the first category. Second category was on the planning level. She said, really for us to, I guess, participate in county level planning efforts, participate in public engagement processes for future planning studies. And then she mentioned, again, multiple ones that were already, some of them that we're already engaged with. So Arlington's Transportation Future, Public Spaces Master Plan. I don't know if we have anybody on that one right now, but I guess that update is either out or is coming. Is that, do folks
Yeah.
know?
I think Andrea's been working on it.
Okay, so Andrea's on that. Well, good. I didn't realize that. There's also a climate action plan that she mentioned that we should participate in, because that also would tie into pedestrian aspects in Arlington as well. And then the comprehensive plan, which Pam is on as well, and Pam will talk a little bit about a little later on here. So that's the second thing then, that as the planning level. And then she also mentioned expanded support. One of the things she said was to advocate for sort of expansion of laws like cameras and other things like that. Unfortunately, as a committee, we can't do that. She kind of found that out. We can't advocate as a committee. We can advocate individually, but not as a committee for things like that, especially laws on a state level. But I guess one of the things that sort of is advocating is that we can mention our legislative priorities to the county, and we have been doing that. Also, she just mentioned to support ongoing initiatives. So ongoing transportation initiatives, such as potentially Vision Zero and other things like that, to write letters of support or support those efforts. To prioritize maintenance. So when we see that there's maintenance issues, to feed them back up through David or other county folks. They also mentioned to share any design, treatment, or technology experiences. So anything that we see, like Tom Corns, I know in the past, has talked about some of the pavement markings that he'd seen in other jurisdictions, other places. Those are sorts of things to kind of report back up through the process. And then to evaluate treatments. Now, they were specific about protected bike lanes, but I think any new treatments that we have to evaluate those. So that was, in a nutshell, what she felt that where we could participate. But she also said that she is not, or her staff is not going to be bringing project level information to our group. Though we have received not directly through transportation, but I know through parks, we sometimes trail information has come to us, and other park information has come from that group. But so getting back to the beginning item, and that was to participate in the public engagement process. So how do we do that? I guess what that would mean to me, and this is, I think, a point I would like to discuss with you all, is I would think that we would have to kind of assign or look for volunteer champions for different projects, and for them to attend the public engagements, either virtually or go directly to the public engagements, and as a pedestrian advocate in a way, or with pedestrian interests, to at least provide feedback. And also, if needed, take it to our meeting level, to where it may make sense to write a letter to the county manager. So, and an example of something that is out there right now, and I've seen it from multiple sources, is the Langston Boulevard Star Survey, which we all could participate in, but certainly it would be good to have a focus for, or at least assign somebody to follow that, similar to the way we have done the SPRCs, the Site Plan Review Committee engagements. So I just want to get people's feedback on that, and the thought that we would essentially have volunteers to cover these different areas. And I see Jim Feaster has his hand up, so I'm going to be quiet for a moment. I'm going to let Jim talk.
No, I think you're right. Of the 50 some commissions that advise the county board, I think we all know that there are not 50 that are, well, there are some that are more listened to than others that carry a little weight. And I'm glad to see that we have a representative from Parks and Recs and neighborhood programs, because those are certainly two of them. And I think that's one way that we can exert some influence. The committee, the Pedestrian Advisory Committee, advises the county board. We do not have access or direct access to the, I'm sorry,
The manager.
The Pedestrian Advisory Committee advises the county manager. We do not have direct access as a committee to the members of the board. Through the commissions of for example, the Parks and Recs and the neighborhood programs, they do. One of those in which one of the commissions I think we should have a liaison with is the Commission on Aging. I used to be on the Commission on Aging, and that's how I found my way to the Pedestrian Advisory Committee. But Andrea is no longer on the commission either, but she was a former member. It might be a good idea to ask, because I'm sure you'll find a representative from the Commission on Aging, and it is one of those that is, I guess I think is more listened to than some of the others. But that's a way that we can exert some, we can provide access to a different listening group.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think that is something we should reach out to the Commission on Aging to get a new representative. I think we also need a more active representative from the Transportation Commission as well. I think we definitely have lots of ties to similar issues.
Yeah, I've always thought that there's virtually nothing that would be supported by the Pedestrian Advisory Committee that would not meet with a wholehearted support from Parks and Recs and the Commission on Aging. I mean, I think and neighborhood programs, especially when it comes to the condition of sidewalks and safety and crossings. We have natural allies in those.
I see, Pam, you have your hand up.
Yeah, in addition to the groups you've already mentioned, it would be great to again have somebody from the Disability Advisory Commission. We haven't had somebody in years. Very strong allies. And is it C2E2 or E2C2 these days? Again, the BAC has had a liaison with them. We have never had a liaison with them, but that would be really valuable to have as well.
I think it's now C2E2.
Yeah, I think
It's switched.
I get
Yeah.
confused. I get so confused.
Well, I think it might be worth it. I guess I should probably reach out to each one of those. Also, I think have reached out lately and did not get feedback, but I would like to connect with the transit committee as well.
Oh, right. Oh, from John Carton. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, getting back to, I guess, the first point that I brought up is, again, how do people feel about taking on different projects as I guess as engagements come out and then sort of becoming like a volunteer or a champion for them, sort of like, again, the way we do work with the Planning Commission on their SPRCs. Folks in favor of that? Any discussion on that? Okay.
Seems like a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. David, did you?
David Early was muted.
Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
thanks. The one thing would be, it would be helpful to identify some priorities around projects, right? I think somebody mentioned there's dozens of private development projects. There's dozens of transportation projects. Some are going to be more important than others. It might be helpful for this group to spend some time talking about what the priorities are and then try to assign leads. I'd be happy to participate and certainly would be happy to liaise on any of the park projects, but I'm just a little concerned with the number of opportunities there might be.
Well, certainly, I think we should focus on ones that have a pedestrian aspect to them. And they do come up quickly, and sometimes quicker than we would like. One of the things I know that Way kind of, and I will say, she sort of stepped back a little bit and said, well, it's hard for us to get that information to you. That's what she had said last at the meeting. But then after a while, she kind of said, yes, we'll try and work on a way to get you a heads up on some of these participation projects or public engagement efforts ahead of time, so we can assign people, especially since we meet monthly and sometimes these come up in between. But I'll throw one out right now. Again, the Langston, which is out there now, which is the Langston Boulevard study, which I think it only runs from like Veach Street towards I believe Gateway Park. It may not even go that far, but it's that section of Langston. I participated in the first round. The second round is on right now. The comments are due by December 4th.
Yep.
Is there somebody who would like to kind of take that on as a champion for our group? There are a couple folks that mentioned, I guess Eric Malpelli is still here. A couple folks that mentioned, maybe not this part of Langston, but at least Langston Boulevard. Is there anyone who would like to take that on?
Yeah, this is Eric. I can take a look at that and take that on.
Okay, very good. Well, I'm gonna go ahead. Thought I heard someone talk. All right, so Eric, I'll put you down for that. Individually, also recommended that folks do that, but we'll try and do this as the pedestrian advisory committee as well. So we'll kind of work towards, I guess, doing that as things come up. I will put them out there, and if people can volunteer to champion those, that would be great. And then, as I said, as Wei said, there's a lot of things on this list that are out there that we can help with as we keep our eyes and ears open to different things. I know another thing that I guess just to mention is the update of the Vision Zero, the next 5-year plan, where we have a participant, Ambar, who isn't here today, is participating in that. So that's again another sort of planning level directive is Vision Zero, which I think that program has done excellent efforts in the county. I look forward to the next 5 years because I think what we've seen in the past 5 years have really shown up as good improvements. So
I attended the open house they held about 2 weeks ago, and it was really super event, and I got to spend time with each of the experts there and take a look at the data, and they're it should be an exciting update. I'm glad to hear that they're moving forward.
good. Thank you. And I think Ambar will probably bring things to us. I think as our as our champion for that, I believe he'll let us know when there is public participation, as well as what we can do as a group to provide feedback. So, all right, I think I may have exhausted that subject for right now. Does anybody else have anything more they'd like to talk about that? I think we're actually running a little bit ahead of time here, so that's good. Any other discussion on our I guess our path forward? Pam?
Eric, it sounds like you are somewhat coordinating the effort, which is great because it really needs to have somebody coordinate what's coming in and sending out notices and that kind of stuff. So you're going to do that.
Yes.
Good. And you have the expertise, as many of us do, to know which ones are important and which ones aren't important. So yeah, definitely the Langston Starbull study is right up there.
Okay. Yeah, and some of the places I beating the bushes on are well, actually, there's one more thing I just want to mention. So some of the places I look to are the county updates. Sometimes they have them, but a lot of times the window is pretty tight. It's usually under 10 days. So as I mentioned to David, I'm going to write an informal letter to Wei Wang and Valerie Mosley and ask them if they can, in some ways, give us heads up so we can assign people to these efforts ahead of time in a similar way as the SPRCs. So with that, I think we'll move in. Pam, we may have some extra time for you. We'll move into the, I guess, the transportation, Arlington's transportation future update. Really what our homework is. You're going to go over that and I guess try and pull more feedback in.
Right. And David, if you can pull up my my slides, which I sent you earlier today.
I had the maps queued up, but not your slides. I'm sorry.
Well, I need both, so that's great. I'll turn on my video, perhaps. Not that you want to look at me. Oops.
While that's while Pam's getting ready, I'll just people might be interested. There was a very interesting article posted by the Washington Post today called "The Deadliest Roads in America." I don't know if anybody has seen that yet.
Yeah.
Yep. We've shared the link.
Pam,
Yeah.
share that. Thank
That
you.
was
I haven't read it
fascinating.
yet. I haven't seen it in the paper yet.
Yeah, the data and Arlington looks fantastic. If you drill down, you look at compared to other cities, Arlington looks fantastic relative to the fatalities picture.
Yeah.
And yet.
And always room for improvement. It's not, yeah, but it was.
Jim fell off here. I'm putting him back in. Hey, one thing, Pam, before we get into this, I do want to ask something. I just saw that in the chat, David had thrown some things in here. David, you threw the transportation projects page in here, which looks like it can be sorted by status. Does that also tell us, give us any heads up for when public engagements are going to occur? Or do you have to read every single project, all 80 of them?
No. Let's
The
look at an example.
yeah,
Let's look at an example maybe. Shoot, I'm not showing my screen. Well, that was the stars thing. We don't want the stars thing.
It
We
was
want
the
the-
second thing that you put
Yes,
in.
got it.
Yes.
Uh,
Sorry to Pam. Just figure while we have David here, maybe he can help just give us a little heads
Yeah.
up on navigation of this page.
That long list should mostly be links to project web pages.
Right.
And those project web pages will typically have the latest information and a schedule and public engagement opportunities.
Right. It's going to
Can't
take
guarantee
some.
they're always like that.
It's going to. I don't know. It says sort by status on that page. Does that? And I don't know if you can bring that up, and if
Yeah.
that in
Let
some
me-
ways may help
David.
us to kind of figure out where we are in that.
right. Let me,
Whatever it is, 60 projects listed there.
I will take the screen and we can do this in real time. How about that?
Okay, good.
So
Right.
let me go back to this long list, sort by status. And so that's what it is. Planned, in design, construction, complete. I don't see a status that is public engagement.
Although one of the other ways that you can sort is by pedestrian, and that would be helpful. Just looking at keeping track of other ones that just say pedestrian.
Let's go back.
Yeah,
Sort
there was
by-
a long, very
There's
long list.
Long list of pedestrian projects. And it may be pedestrian parts of larger projects.
Right.
Some of them.
Very
Anyway,
long list.
I think I will point to this. As I said, I'm going to write informally back to Wei and Valerie and see if there's a way to help us wade through this so we can more efficiently let folks know about what's going on.
Eric, sorry, but it occurs to me that the new folks on the call might not know who Wei Wong and Valerie Mosley are.
Okay. So Wei was, as of recently, the head of transportation, and she is now the acting deputy of. I'm blanking
DES.
here.
It's DES.
DES, yeah. So she's the acting deputy, and Valerie Mosley is the supervisor for the project managers, right? In
planners.
transportation and planners in transportation.
Right.
So-
Valerie's my bureau chief in transportation planning and capital projects management.
And as David early mentioned, theoretically, these are going to be listed on the Engage Arlington website, but it's not comprehensive. They miss a lot of projects.
Okay.
Right.
Anyway,
And sometimes those are too late too.
if there's a way that we can get clued in a little bit ahead of time, I think that will definitely be helpful for us.
Right.
So, but I think we're
Oh, very good.
all right. So your slides are up. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And I have the maps on deck.
Yeah, Good, good, good. I will be getting to them in a couple minutes. Hi, again, I'm Pam Van Heim. I'm the PAC representative on the Arlington Transportation Future Advisory Group, and this is my PAC update for today. Next slide, please.
Oh, I got the wrong one then. This says November this 19th. Oh no.
Oh,
it's today.
And October. Okay. It's all right.
Yeah,
Moving right along.
that was my bad. I forgot to take it out. I did these in a hurry. Yes, we should be okay from now on. Thank you. All right, our agenda for tonight for this part. We're talking about our homework updates, which are going to be due fairly soon. We get to have more input on the draft modal priority maps, the draft transportation policy, what's missing, what doesn't fit, the draft curb use policy, what's missing, and imagine what's possible. And again, all three homeworks are due by me to staff on December 3rd. I would like your comments, if possible, by this weekend. If not, my absolute deadline is Sunday, November 30th. And I absolutely have to turn this in by December 3rd because I'm having surgery the next day. Next slide.
Next slide.
All right, this is homework number 1, the draft modal priority maps. The next 2 slides I had last month, just again reminding you what the modal priority is and why we're doing it. It is a designation to design and operate a street that prioritizes the safety, comfort, and efficiency of a specific mode. And as we learned, pedestrians are always priority for everything. But for the next layer, for priority 2 and priority 3, it will either be transit or bikes and micromobiles. Next slide, please. All right, so this is a summary of the draft modal priority networks framework, which is going to be a key part of the refreshed transportation plan, which we've been working on. Again, pedestrians are the priority number 1 across the whole globe. And what they're talking about is developing the major corridors throughout the county. It's not like, oh, all of a sudden all the sidewalks in the entire county and all the neighborhoods are going to get built and fixed. No, the priorities are going to be the major corridors. And okay, there's my slides. All right. And we are finalizing, at least for the time being, what the modal priority maps are, and with getting lots of input from all the participating groups in the advisory committee. I hear somebody else speaking. I don't know who that is.
Yeah,
maybe turn mics off if you're not talking. I think Tom's is on. All right, back to my slides, which have disappeared.
Yes, I went to the mics.
Oh, thank you.
I can.
Yes, you
people.
Did the muting.
Yeah.
Oh, now I can't get it back. Here we are.
Okay. All right, I was ready for the next slide. This, if you haven't played with this yet, please do. This there are 3 different draft priority modal maps. One is bikes and micromobiles as number 2. The second is transit as number 2. And this is the overlap which shows both of them. And can you bring up the actual map on the website?
Okay, bear with me though, because I've got to navigate.
I have a question for you, Pam.
Yeah.
So we were told that all streets are pedestrian priority.
Correct.
But then there are these 2 sets of corridors which are merging into a map of these 2 modal corridors, the transit corridor and the bike micromobility corridor. Are those what they considered pedestrian, that the highest priority is still pedestrians for all of those?
Yes.
But then is everything else considered for cars? I mean, what now
so
we're looking at.
You have 3 layers, right, or 4 layers. You have pedestrians at the top, and for the next priority 2, it's either going to be transit or bike and micromobiles, and then the one on the bottom is cars and trucks and things.
So getting back to that from the pedestrian perspective, I know you're mentioning bike and transit, but from the pedestrian perspective, how do we weigh in? This gets a little more complicated.
Yes, and as I said, from my perspective, we need to have special attention to what the bike priority ones are and what the transit priority ones are, because if it is transit, and bikes are not either priority 3 or not at all, those bikes are going to be on the sidewalks. There's not going to be really space for them on the streets because there's going to be buses, and the county has decided that on certain streets such as Glebe, which is one of the places where the PAC really wanted to have bike facilities, it's going to be transit priority 2. Now, my understanding is that when they start working on a specific corridor, and this is going to be years and years and years to do all these different corridors, the first thing they will do is ensure that pedestrians have sufficient space. Now, we haven't determined what that sufficient space is yet, but they do that before they assign space for bike lanes or transit lanes, whatever else is needed. And ours have to be comfortable and safe and convenient. And in the next phase, when we get to strategies, we will be working very hard to define exactly what those specifications are. But it's good. It's for the major corridors, and what they also say for the plans and the maps. It doesn't mean that if you are a driver or a bike that you can't use a specific route. It just means that watch out for buses or whatever else is going to be the priority. And if it is a bicycle priority number 2, you will probably have at some point nice bike lanes and probably not that many buses, or there are going to be some places where there's room for both. But a lot of places in the county, such as Glebe Road, there are really not places to do both well. So it is important, even though we're number 1, that we pay attention, because there are implications to whether a route is for bikes priority 2 or transit priority 2. And I made that point that if the routes are transit, such as Glebe, we are going to need more sidewalk space, because chances are that some of the bikes and micromobiles are going to be traveling with us. And as a friend pointed out, if it's a major transit route, there's going to be more people on those sidewalks anyway. So we're going to need even wider sidewalks than we had thought before. Anyway, do we have the actual map interactive up?
Is this what you're wanting?
I've
got the 3 maps.
Oh, that doesn't look interactive. Are these interactive?
Oh, I do not know. No, I think this is from a presentation.
Oh, no. The link that I sent you is the interactive map.
Okay. Gosh, I'm sorry.
And you can choose which map you want to see, whether it's the draft priority 2 bike and micromobile, draft priority 2 transit, or combining both of them.
How many windows?
Or we can skip this. Anyway.
Maybe we can we can continue with your presentation.
Continue.
We can
Right.
come back to it.
Right. But do open it up, play with it. You can expand it ad nauseum. And what I wanted to point out in there was one of the many streets that we recommended that they reconsider is 28th Street South, and it has become transit priority when it was the complete streets. But it is a beautiful path for bicyclists, and they did manage to put a little route in part of 28th Street so that cyclists could get to Gunston, but they can't get all the way around over to Army Navy Drive, and I think that's something that still needs to. Yeah, that's it.
This is your presentation.
Oh no, that one doesn't explain. We'll worry about it another time. But I will send out the links again and encourage you to play with it and look at things carefully. I am extremely impressed that staff actually looked at all the comments that everybody sent them. And I'm also very impressed with the PAC, and I thank all of you. And the BAC, I thank them. And Complete Streets, we all sent lots and lots of comments. I think Parks and Rec sent lots of comments too. And staff looked at every single comment and responded. And we had 25 of, we had tons of comments, we had pages of comments. And we have 7 pages of responses from staff. They said yes to 25 of the things that we suggested. So it was great that we made those suggestions. I think some of them we still want to push back on, including 28th Street. And they have lots of comments are, we will leave it off for now and see if it is a desired connection during phase 3 engagement. Well, we're almost done with phase 3 engagement. And the other comment that we often got was, these types of needs will be addressed through future studies. So some of the stuff they understand is a problem, but it's not going to happen now. Anyway, I think it is important that we do push back on some of these, and you can move on to the next slide.
Come on.
Yes, okay. The second homework is evaluating the draft transportation policies. This slide, which you have seen many times before, shows that we are now on policy development, and shortly next year we'll be on strategies, which is the nitty-gritty stuff like how wide should a clear zone be that we all really want to get into.
Are you going to walk through the 23 policies?
If you would like.
Or maybe summarize them. I mean,
Yeah.
at least there are. I would just say, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, that there are several of them that appear like they're redundant a little bit. Like they say almost the same thing. Talks
Yeah.
about land use and
Yeah.
development
Yeah.
and smart transportation, and I think that they could probably go into one as opposed to 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, I did make comments on like a third to a half of those, and I will highlight those. So let's go on to the next slide. This is how they did it. They're going in the wrong direction. Okay. This is way too small for you to read. You might want to look at it sometime. I am going to highlight one part that's where the globe is. It says policies should be global. Strategies may be modal. In other words, policies should be broad enough to apply across multiple modes of transportation. And I think that's important because I don't think all of their policies really cover different modals. It also, yeah.
And you're all, if I understand correctly, looking at this slide, with the existing with the existing transportation plan, there are 65 elements, and they're all in different silos here. And what we're getting now is 24 elements or 23, something like that, that are all trying to be multimodal or cover all the modes.
They did merge them, and I think they went to some other sources as well. You note here under pedestrians, it says there's 11. There's actually 12. I don't know why I had to get 11. Can you go to the next slide, please?
Yes.
And again, this is not one that you can read easily. It's one that I had sent you separately. These are the existing pedestrian element policies in the pedestrian element from 2011. Some of them are okay. The general gist is fine. A lot of them are way too long. A lot of them combine issues more than they should, but kind of as a reference, you might want to look at these when you're thinking about yes, Eric.
I'm sorry again. So like the first one is the item that David brought up. To the first thing, it says complete the sidewalk network. Is there anything in the 24 policies that they have there that talk specifically about completing the sidewalk network? I don't recall seeing something like that. So I think that's still an important thing, and that's again what David had mentioned, that there are many gaps that are out there.
I thought it was mentioned. So I there, yeah, you can go to the next slide.
Uh,
David, please go. Yeah,
Yes.
next slide. Thank you. Okay, I'm thinking of what you're asking about, Eric, and we'll have to look at this closely. And what 4 and 5 are a little bit about completing the walkway is specific to pedestrians, but completing the entire network is for everything, all modes. So the use the modal priority networks to advance it and an interconnected and convenient multimodal transportation system, which doesn't include all the sidewalks that we have in our neighborhood streets that are missing. But yeah, that's a good point. The first one is about accessibility. I would add a word between eliminating barriers, eliminating all barriers to mobility. There's no excuse to have any barriers to mobility. 2 is fine. 3 is okay. It's a DEI kind of thing. What? Hello? Okay. 4 has overlap with 10, which is about develop streets as low stress, people focused public spaces, kind of complete streets. 10 is managing the, yeah.
I'm sorry, is it 10?
Oh,
Let
11.
me just
It's
see.
11.
It was
11.
Sorry, 4. Well, we have 4 up right now. I'm not sure we see the other
Shall I
ones.
go to the screen with 10 and 11?
Develop low stress. There was one thing that that talked about, was it use modal priorities, maintain. There were 2 that that look like they were very similar, that talked about really prioritizing based on land use and also what's I'm blanking again, the system where you're kind of evaluate the different modes of transportation.
Level of service?
Not level of service. It's actually, let's see if I can find it on here. Was it 8? Let's see here.
And these are in no order whatsoever.
Okay. These may have been in different order than what I had seen before. It's not, what are we, anyway, continue on. I'll let you know,
okay.
chime in again
Yeah.
if I need to.
Right.
Next.
Okay. 8, I think, collaborate with local, regional, state, and federal jurisdictions. To me, that seems like more of a strategy than a policy per se, but that's maybe a personal opinion. I don't know if people agree with me or not. Yeah, 10 is somewhat related to 4. 11 is about, I'm not even sure exactly what 11 means. Support low impact urban freight operations that reduce congestion, emissions, and conflicts with other uses of the right of way, which could be like using e-bikes for food delivery.
Yes.
But
it could also mean just loading and unloading of in urban areas for different businesses, just
right. But is that really a policy level, or is that more of a strategy level?
I think the low impact might be a policy level, or at least trying to make it low impact. So trucks loading and unloading don't create other problems.
Yeah. Some of that's just my personal opinion, like 14, which is about MOTs. That seems more of a strategy thing than a policy thing. But if people think that as policy, these are fine, it's not really a problem for me. Oh, there's the 16 was the integrated land use and transportation planning to co-locate growth and development with high quality sustainable transportation options. I would, one of the things that bothers me is there's no order to these whatsoever, and it's really hard to find something. But I think that that is a really key policy and should be way up there.
And as I said, there was another one that was similar. I thought it was either like 6 or 8 or something like that. Both
Yeah.
that almost could be integrated into a single policy.
Right.
It again,
Yeah.
focusing on land development, sustainability, and again, looking at the efficiencies of commuting and transportation.
Mm-hmm. Well, if anyone, actually, if all of you want to look at these closely and send me your thoughts about how to organize them and should some things be combined, yeah, I really appreciate that.
I think one of the links, and sorry to keep talking here, but
No.
Pam, I believe one of the links that you sent out went to the website where these can be reorganized. They actually show them as the 23 policies, and then you can click on something and it actually puts them together under the different goals. So they actually do them as goal focused. So you can
I have not
resort them that
seen that.
way.
You'll have to send
It
me
was
the link.
it was one of the links that you sent us, I believe.
You think I look at everything I send you?
No, but
Okay, yeah.
for the homework. It was one of the
Yeah.
homework links.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
That might be part of the public engagement.
I think
Because
it is.
that's where the interactive map was, and that's the only part that I looked at. Okay, I will check that out. That probably would be very helpful. Yeah, because the order that they're in now makes me crazy, and there's so many items here that I have a hard time focusing on what might be missing as a policy. And I guess I will start by looking at what our current policies are in the pedestrian element and see if they're missing. And I will go to that link, and I think that'll be very helpful. All right. So
Do you want
yeah,
to bring up the third page just so people can see if there
oh
are
yes,
any
yes,
missing policies?
yes, because I'm
Right
already
there.
yeah. Oh, for 17, I would certainly add, this is all great, but it cannot limit the pedestrian clear zones. And that's going to be an issue. It's already an issue. I have lost sidewalks. Let's see.
Well, the item 21 also kind of, oops,
Sorry.
focuses a little bit on what you were saying, David, in terms of finding, was it 21 here, the long-term viable funding models, because as you're saying, a lot of times the networks are only built out based on the development that's happening.
It's certainly true for sidewalks.
You're right. You're right. Good point. That applies to sidewalks. Thank you. Just keep it in mind when we get to strategies. Again, 22 and 23 to me seem more like strategies. And 22, it says clearly communicate how decisions are made. To whom? It doesn't say. I would definitely clarify that. Anyway, next slide, please. So what policies are missing? I don't have a clue. There's too much stuff here. What draft policies are missing key information? I just pointed out a couple of them. Those I can catch. What draft policies might be strategies? It seems like people are comfortable with there being policies, so that's okay. Should policies be rearranged by topic? So yes, you gave me a way to do that, Eric. I will look at that. And then I have a quote in here from the bottom, which is something that Jim Feaster said. He was suggesting this for staff to follow when they're considering new transportation projects. Is this safe for my 10-year-old daughter walking to school? Is this safe for my neighbor who uses a cane? Is this safe for my father who is 85 years old and likes to walk in the neighborhood? I think this is absolutely a perfect statement about what the PAC is all about. This is what we want. And I want to put this in
8 to 80.
somewhere if everybody agrees. It's 8 to 80. Yeah, or actually, you know, build for babies at 8 to 80.
Right.
Yeah, for the very old, the very young, the frail, and those with disabilities and impairments. We serve the most vulnerable, and we serve the most vulnerable, the most vulnerable. And I think this is absolutely what we care about. Agreed? Okay, moving on. Homework 3, next page. This part is fun, and we can spend a little bit of time on this, and you can think about it. The county is rethinking about how to use our curb spaces. It can be equivalent to a travel lane or more. It doesn't have to be used for parking cars or other vehicles. It has all kinds of other uses that we could have. So this are the curb use categories that they're proposing, and they are suggesting that transportation safety and modal priority network connectivity are the most important. I certainly agree with that. I assume that you would agree with that as well. Other categories that they have is goods access, people access, greening, parking, public service activation, utility access. I strongly recommend they pick a different word for greening, maybe just green space. Or something else, but greening, and no. Going on to the next. So they gave us samples of curb uses by category. And looking at the categories, the one thing that I noticed is missing is emergency vehicles. They have to be accommodated. So I think that would be a separate category here. And I had quite a lot of specific suggestions for some of these, although they're pretty good. So the only category that I can think of that wasn't there was emergency vehicles. If you can think of another one, please let me know. And again, is somebody saying something?
Pam, I see Eric's hand is up. I don't have a
Hi,
very
Eric.
good, I don't have a very good view of the participants, but Eric's hand I can see.
Yeah. Hi, Eric.
We might have an open microphone somewhere. But anyway, I just a couple things. Whoops, going back to the where you were just at. Whoop.
Back up one.
We're going.
Yeah, here.
So one other thing, it kind of goes under utility access, but just access for maintenance. Could be specific utilities. It could also be for maintaining the street and the curb and access to the curb. So that may be another one. To me, I think an important one to tackle is people access. I think there needs to be more, I guess, designated places to drop people off, especially people that have disabilities that need to transition from a vehicle into to the sidewalk, and it's not always easy. You don't want to block the crosswalks in doing something like that, but you do want to find ways to get folks that have mobility issues to get them from a vehicle to the sidewalk.
That's a good point. And Amber sent me a note before Park told me that he couldn't come to the meeting. He talked about the different uses for the people access, having the plazas and cafe zones and open streets, which I think all would be good. But Eric, you're absolutely right that we have to fix access for people with disabilities or anyone. It's crazy. You should be able to leave your form of transit close to the curb and walk safely to wherever you need to go. Yeah, easily. Anyway, think about these, and if you have other suggestions, please let me know by this weekend. It would be great. And if you can go to the next slide, please. I think it's great that the county is thinking about other way. Thank you. Of other ways of using the very precious curb space. So I said the only category that I could think of that was missing was emergency vehicles. If you can think of other broad categories, let me know. And I think we agree that the first two categories, transportation safety and the multimodal network, are the most important. And I'm looking for lots more suggestions on additional curb uses. And Eric mentioned one, and I think emphasizing open streets and others. I mean, open streets is opening the entire street, but having access to the open curbs would be a big part of that. All right, next slide, please. Hold on a second.
It looks like Andrea
yeah.
is joining us.
Oh, yay. Hi, Andrea. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, yes. I don't know if my mic's on, but yes.
You do. Your mic is on. You do have a little bit of background noise. I'm not sure why, but we're glad to have you here.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
We have,
I'll shut it off.
Thank you. Okay, this is the timeline for the project. Right now we're in phase 3 and they're gathering input on the multimodal maps and the same things that we're talking about with our homework. And they'll be coalescing all of this in the middle of December. And then we will start working on strategies. Yay. Next slide, please. Okay. So these are the hints from staff on how to approach the questions that we just discussed towards creating a better transportation network for the maps. Do they get you where you want to go? No, they don't all get you where you want to go. There's a lot of access to schools missing. One of my complaints about what they've done so far is they really haven't focused on the transit needs of our aging population that has very specific places they want to go. And those places like hospitals and shopping centers are not on the map. And I think more of that needs to be on there and we need to push for that. Schools. Okay, draft policy works toward the, okay, I will look at this section that Eric just promoted and these actually fit that way. Would they create a better transportation future? Some do, some don't. We'll see. But yeah, I definitely, yes, sir.
Well, I guess one thing that we can do, we have a little extra time. Maybe if David, after your slides are all done, and if anybody has any comments, please, we want to collect those. Maybe David can go to that engagement page and just kind of show how that works.
So. Yeah, that's where the map is, and that's where this other thing that I didn't even realize what it was. And curb uses that are missing and how to categorize them. All right. I have to turn in our comments by December 3rd. I want most of your comments, especially starting on these key issues, by this weekend, and I absolutely have to have everything by the following weekend. I'm going to have a very tight schedule the first week in December, but I got to get this stuff done. All right. Next slide. Okay, a reminder, there is one more open house this Saturday, and the online survey is due December 7th, and I encourage all of you to respond to that as individuals, and David's going to show us this in a minute. Again, look at the multimodal maps and, personally push for things in your neighborhood that you think are not right, or places that you want to go where there aren't really connections. It's really important to do this. And that is it. Okay, next slide. Now, this is your decision. I have a few slides on the comprehensive plan update, which I can go through quickly, or we can go look at the other, the online engagement really
Why
quickly.
don't we do that? But while we got a quorum of people here and more, does anybody want to at least throw anything out here on either from the map perspective, from the policies perspective, or from the curb perspective?
Thank you. It's really hard if you haven't looked at this. It's hard even if you have looked at this stuff.
Any off-the-cuff thoughts?
Well, the one off-the-cuff thought I might offer is that it's really hard to tell what's most important if you've got 23 policies, which are going to be your umbrella over your strategies. You're going to end up with a very large list of priorities. So one of the things that I will try to do is look to see in those policies, are there ways to eliminate things that may not be really, really important, good to do, need to fit them in somewhere, but they aren't really the high level structure of what your plan is going to be. Some of those look, as Pam was noting, some of them look very almost tactical, like you're, as opposed to a broader strategic direction. So that's just my first reaction on that.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I agree with you. Absolutely. Thank you, David Early.
And if I recall, and I may recall incorrectly, when these were put out by the county, I think they said they are not prioritized, that they are like, at least at this point, they're seeing them all as equal. Is that correct, Pam?
I think you're right, and I don't think we do see them as equal. You know, the one on land use is absolutely number one. Everything else.
I don't know, David, if you want to give if you can pull up the engagement page, or if that's not that easy to do.
I have to put this screen away.
Okay.
And open up a new screen.
Okay.
That is not a hot link. I can't just click on it. So
Okay.
I think why don't I go ahead and finish all my slides, and then you can just close this out.
Okay.
I mean, that
Sorry.
way, that as much time as we have, we can play with
That makes
the
sense.
online link. Yeah. Okay.
So
And
we're going to transition
keep
to
going.
comp plan.
Yep. And I may have a problem for a second. My computer wants me to oh, there we are. Good. It went away. Good. All right. Again, it's me. Hold on. Here we are. All right. Next slide, please. So David and I attended the November 12th Long Range Planning Committee update on the comprehensive plan update. It's an update on the update. Next slide. Okay, so this is what staff are working on for phase one of this project. Basically, they're creating an introductory chapter for the comprehensive plan, and it's going to include data, overview of the county's strengths, weaknesses, etc. Guiding principles. Those they are hoping will be very different from what is listed currently. And that is going to be highly controversial in the county. It's already very highly controversial in the county. There must have been, the room that I was in probably had at least 30 people, and there were over 50 people online, and there were lots and lots and lots of public speakers about this. All right, it's an overview of how the 12 comprehensive plan elements fit together, and outline of the process for future comprehensive plan element updates. All right. Again, the new chapter will not change the existing 12 elements. They're separate. The county vision, zoning, or land uses, but this is phase one. Watch out for phase two when we might be getting into GLUP, or somebody's going to be getting into GLUP. general land use policy, which is very controversial. Next slide. So for updating the chapter, the county staff were starting with the 6 policies from the American Planning Association for creating your urban plan. Again, they sound a lot like some of the goals that we have in the update to the transportation plan. As well they should. I mean, they're all kind of normal things. Livable built environment, harmony with nature, resilient economy, interwoven equity, healthy and safe community, responsible regionalization. So the staff are taking the APA principles as listed above and getting community input and responses, and then they're tailoring the guiding principles for Arlington by combining all of this stuff. And so far they're doing a great job. Eric, your hand is raised.
Yes, I just wanted to say, if I understand correctly, there was an open engagement that I believe ended this weekend.
Yes.
And it was basically these 6 guiding principles. They were asking people to really give your thoughts on each one of these areas. And so they've been collecting.
Eric.
Sorry. And they've been collecting feedback from people, or they were under this first engagement on these 6 principles.
Correct.
So thanks.
Correct. And I did promote that engagement before it closed, and I forgot when I was doing the slides that it had already closed, and I did check, and it is closed. You can't add anything to it, although I'm sure you could send them comments anyway. Next slide, please. This is the timeline. They have been doing a huge amount of community engagement starting in the spring, and they're just finishing it up now. And then they will share with us the draft chapter and things starting in early 2026. But the staff on this are terrific. They're doing an amazing job. I'm just really impressed with what they're doing. And it's very easy to participate on this. All right, next slide. So they had focus groups, they had pop-up groups, they had all these different things. This is who the focus group participants are as a whole set. They did the Black community, they did Hispanics, they did LGBTQ communities, they did the disability community. There's so many specific groups, very underserved groups. A higher percentage that answered are female. A higher percentage than usual are Hispanic and non-white. More than half of them are apartment dwellers. Now, if you do the typical kind of building surveys and other surveys that the county does, a lot of them are usually older white people who own homes. So this is a very different group, and this is wonderful that they're reaching out to this group and really listening to them. And you can see the reports from the different groups online, and they're fascinating to read. Next slide, please. So of the 6 principles, they chose safety as number 1. We approve. That's great. Equity also very high. Livability also very high. These particular groups supported community and economic resilience very highly. Not all the groups did. This is a group that feels, all these groups feel very underserved. They are looking for help in improving their economic status. They're looking for job training. They're looking for other resources that they don't feel they have ready accessed right now. They're also concerned about health, less concerned about sustainability and harmony of nature. And interestingly, many of these groups thought the parks in the county were not safe. And both for the air quality, that there's drugs and pollution is not clean. There's rats. Come back, please come back. Slide. And they just felt physically unsafe in a lot of the parks, and I definitely don't feel that way in the parks in my neighborhood. So that made me very sad, and I hope that's something that can be fixed. Next slide, please. Oh, and the regional responsibility. No, that didn't relate. None of the groups thought regional responsibility and coordination was important, but I don't think they really understand what it was and why it is important. Some of the other types of groups also didn't mark the economic resilience very highly, but again, I don't think they realize, how important improving our economic resilience in the county is to provide all the services that we need in the county. So something they can work on. All right, so these are the takeaways by staff from the focus groups. Housing equity and affordability, access to amenities. Access was a big topic. For interwoven equity, they talked about dignity. They don't always feel like they're being treated with dignity, and that is important. Dignity and belonging. Harmony with nature. Sustainable infrastructure and environmental justice, and SBB. Parks need to be safe. Health and safe communities. Safety in housing, schools and other buildings. Crime and drug-free parks. Better safety for pedestrians and cyclists. Yes, we support that. We support all these actually. And for the economy, again, job access and workforce development training. They lack that. They're really great comments. Regionalism, inclusivity, and community engagement in a broader way. Need for regional coordination. Okay, these are all important takeaways. Next slide. In the comprehensive update. Okay, so if we missed the forms, if you didn't already do it, they were closed this past weekend. Staff will be working hard in the next month to compile everything, go over their themes again, and develop the guiding principles in their statements. And they'll be drafting the new introductory chapter with the updated guiding principles, which are going to upset a lot of people. And we will meet again with the LPRC in early 2026 and hopefully work on the chapter. And next step, do I have anything else after this? Next slide. Yes. Oh, yes. This was a promotion for the online survey, which unfortunately is gone, but I'm sure you're welcome to send them comments in any case. Next slide. We're done. And this was a general slide for comments and questions on either presentation, and I thank you for your time. And the transportation policies just really confused me. So I hope you can help me with those. Thank you. And any other questions, I'm happy to try to answer them.
Well,
Oh, I'll say one more thing that, Wei was talking about the importance of participating in these community engagements, and the Arlington Transportation Update and the comprehensive plan are two things, examples of major things that we need to be participating in, and we are participating in. And my feeling is, if there's a seat at the table, take it. It's really important to have a voice. So we try to do that as much as we can.
This is the page you were looking for, Pim?
Yeah, go down
Go
a
to
bit.
share your feedback. Share your feedback.
Share your feedback. Click. Okay, go down and learn more about.
Yep.
Learn more about. Learn.
No, there it is.
There should be three options somewhere.
You were right there. Is it the box?
So here.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, the draft policies. Yes, open that. I did not open that. So open that. Okay. You saw what those are, and then by goal. And you get to move them around.
Eric mentioned. Yes.
So yeah, you can click down on it each one, and it will give you the policies. Yeah.
That'll be really helpful. I did not know that was there. Thank you very much. Yeah, that'll help a lot.
Okay, so there's that, and then the live maps.
Yes, go down. View the draft bundle network. Okay, it should come up. Go down. Okay, see, this is transit. Click on all modes. Don't do transit priority. Do bicycle or all. The priority overlaps. Yeah, do that one. Okay, go way down to the south. I'm looking for 28th Street in Gunston. I think it's about where that blue bubble is. The school. Yeah. Okay.
It's this, right?
Yeah. Okay. So you can see the entire. This is 28th Street, the one that I'm complaining about, and the back has pushed for this. Amber has pushed for this. It's such a lovely street to bike along. It's a really major connection because otherwise you go all the way out here. You have to deal with Glebe and come back. What they did create is a little tiny, the yellow, you can see comes off Arlington Ridge and goes down. It also goes a little bit on 28th and then goes down. And you could go over to 4 Mile Run Trail.
It ties into our Army Navy Drive, right? The one you're talking about. It goes
but not here. I
okay.
mean, the 28th Street does. It continues as a purple transit line, and that's where it connects to Army Navy Drive. And then not too much further up would be to the country club and the trail that'll be up there. So, but it's such a lovely, lovely spot. So that's the kind of thing that watch out for things like that. And if you think things need to be fixed, but you can play with this. You can expand this like ad nauseum and see exactly what they're talking about. And you can see that things are missing. And we need to note that and get back to them some more. But I love this map and you can spend hours playing with it. Okay, so anybody need to say anything else for this? What else?
I was going to click on the third category, the
Yeah,
curb use category.
right. Yeah, and what I had a question about that comment. Oh, one of the things in the instructions that I forgot was that I think we will support that we need different times of curb use for different types of land use. So for high density, high rise and things, you have a lot of PUDO restrictions and other very tight curb use. Maybe everyone for bike lanes, etc. But in a low residential single family neighborhood where you're lucky if you even have sidewalks, the need for a lot of these curb uses is much less. And people have driveways and can put their cars in driveways usually. And you've got everything in between. So that's something else to think about.
All right.
Oh, so does it let you do anything with the curb use?
I don't think this is interactive.
If you go back to the, well, there's a feedback for that piece as well. There's feedback for
right here.
Share your feedback. Yeah.
Oh, feedback.
And that has the 3 categories that you can click on each one of them and then hit next, and it will go basically through what David was showing you.
Yeah. So all of us should look at this. The only part that I had looked at it was the maps. So I hadn't realized what the other 2 parts had. So this is useful. This will help me. I will study this in the next couple of days. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm happy to answer any other questions, but other than that, I'm done.
Thank you, Pam.
I'm sorry I didn't look at those things. Thank you, Eric, for pointing them out. I don't know that I would have found them.
Well,
all right.
It's good. It's good that we're all looking at them. So.
Yes, I appreciate all of your input and all of your support. And I am amazed that the PAC has continued working on this. It's really important, and so is the BAC, and so have parks, and so has Complete Streets. Some of the other advisory groups, I'm not talking this year, but the round that we did last time didn't submit anything. So I think it's really good that we continue to do this. And this is our chance to try to get what we want for sidewalks and intersections and everything else. So I want to keep pushing, and I thank you all. Oh, the next advisory group meeting, well, the next PAC meeting is December 10th, Wednesday. The next advisory group meeting is the 11th. I will not be able to attend either one. I will be looking for a volunteer to attend the advisory group meeting. And then hopefully by January, I'll be back and doing stuff again. And I think last time, my substitute for the advisory group. So Eric Malpelli, if you're interested in doing again, that would be fine. Amber probably might be willing to do it too, but we can't ask him today because he's not here. We don't need to know right now, but I will need to know that before December 3rd. Any questions about anything?
Thank you. Thank you. There are a few more things on our agenda. We're kind of winding down here. And David, I take it that nobody is coming from Walk Arlington.
Nope.
Okay. So neither Mary,
Both Mary and Lauren were
Lauren
under
are
the
not coming. Okay. Okay. So we don't really have updates from them. Do you have any updates for us? I see you had mentioned when we were talking about the special GLUP for the 2847 Wilson Boulevard, and then also I don't know if you found out any more information on high volume concrete maintenance.
I did. I communicated with John Lawler, who's in the Water Sewer Streets Bureau. It was a program I had not heard about before. Pam brought it to my attention. It works at the interface between private property owners and the public sidewalk. And there's I think a requirement that private property owners take care of the public sidewalk. And when they don't, what happens then? And I'll just go to John's message that he sent me because it's very compact. Let me find it. This could be an opportunity for a letter from the PAC, for example. That John had a position listed to hire someone, a program manager, but it wasn't authorized at high enough grade, so they couldn't find anybody. So this is maybe opportunity to lobby inside the county structure for more support for this important job. Program manager was approved with the FY26 budget. However, Human Resources downgraded the position from the board approved grade 21 to a grade 18, and therefore we've been unable to advertise the position to hire someone until that issue is resolved, as the scope of the program is far too complex for someone in a grade 18 position to successfully execute it. I'll be in touch once. I had asked him, is there a role for the PAC or citizens in general to have input in what gets priority inside this program? I'll be in touch once I find out that has worked out, as I would like the PAC's feedback on how the program will be operated. There's not a ton of room for them to steer us on that because it has to comply with state code, which has limitations on how jurisdictions seek cost recovery for sidewalk repairs. However, I'm not able to present anything to them until the grade of the position is resolved. Currently, no one is overseeing this program, and no one has overseen the program since 2005.
Oh my God.
if residents see unsafe sidewalk conditions along the frontage of high-density properties, or along any property for that matter, they should use the Report a Problem tool, and Water Sewer Streets will have the ESA. I'm not sure exactly what ESA is. It's a staff designation. We'll have the ESA assigned to that area investigate. If the ESA determines that the issue is on a high-density maintained sidewalk, they work with the property owner to make the repairs, or have a Water Sewer Streets crew put asphalt on it to make it safe as applicable. So John seemed very welcome to hear from the message I sent, and it looks like going forward there is going to be some movement on that program, and there's going to be an opportunity and an opening for the PAC to weigh in.
So I guess when you say high volume, high density, we're talking about people. We're talking about high usage, right?
I think it has to do with the properties, not the people. I think it has to do with I don't know. This is news to me. It says it hasn't been operated since 2005. That was well before I was with the county. So I don't know how it was intended to operate, but I think it's about the density of uses in the properties.
Oh,
Yeah, I think you're right. So at this point, if I understand you right, John would be happy to come talk to us once he has an approved staff person on?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so,
he said he has to get the grade of this new hire
okay.
resolved, and then he can open discussion with the PAC.
But you think it would be useful for us to send a letter to the county manager soon? Would that help, John?
I don't know. And I can I retract that statement? I think I might have gotten out over my skis on that one.
Well, why don't you consult with him about what would be useful for us to do?
That's a good idea.
We would love to have him come talk to us
yeah,
when he can.
I'm
Because
not sure
I had
we
never heard of this program. It was the reason it came out that I heard of it. It was supposed to be a presentation to our civic association, and it was canceled. I said, "What is this, David? What is this?"
Yeah, I'm not sure we want to get involved with the
hiring
grading of a
decisions.
position. Yeah. But if it gets delayed, then certainly we might reach out to the county manager saying that we would like to know more about this effort. We understand that this position has been open for a long time.
Well, I can certainly go back to John and ask him for a little more fuller explanation.
Right.
All right.
I'm very happy that he responded to you, though.
Yeah. We're he used to work in the same bureau where I am now.
Right.
Any other items?
I do have one other item. So the PAC is always looking for more people to get involved. And Lauren Hassel sent a note to me and Pam earlier that she thought she'd found a couple of people who might have come to the meeting tonight, but they did not. And at least one of those people was hooked by a little flyer that we created that said a little bit about the pedestrian committee and how the pedestrian and the bicycle committee work together to make the streets and sidewalks safer. And then Eric asked me a while ago, could we translate that into Spanish? Well, I asked the Spanish language speaking people in our public engagement team, and yes, we could do that, but then they put the question back to me. Are you prepared to run a meeting in Spanish? And I'm not a good enough Spanish speaker.
The answer is no. We could certainly try for if there are any Spanish speakers that would want to translate. But that doesn't mean there are lots of bilingual people out there that that might still getting it out to them could be another way to attract folks to this group.
I would say it was a warm reception. It was a good idea, and it hasn't happened yet. I have to create a work order or something to engage someone to do a proper translation, not just a computer translation. And then we could do that, and then we would deal with the consequences. If people actually show up, we would have to deal with that. So that'd be a positive problem. So I think that's it for me.
Okay. Let's see. I'm just going over the last items. So we approved the minutes. There is no Vision Zero update right now because Ambar is on that committee and he did not send anything. So opportunities for public engagement, we talked about that a little earlier, and the one item is that STAR Langston Boulevard STAR study. Do you know of anything else, David, at this point that might beating the bushes that where we might have an opportunity for public engagement?
Well, back on that transportation page, it's a very, very, very long list, and I don't know all those projects. There are dozens and dozens of projects. One that crossed my desk recently was out on the edge of the county, the far west end of Wilson Boulevard. Wilson at Livingston or Lexington by Upton Hill Park. Two intersections being upgraded with signals and better sidewalks and curb ramps and such. And I think, Eric, you commented that some of the curb ramp designs are still a little deficient because they weren't oriented properly. I don't know where that is, whether that's still an open engagement opportunity or not. It's not a biggie.
I believe when you had sent it, it was open for a while, and then the comment that I sent to you was sent to you because the actual engagement time frame did close.
Had passed. Okay.
Yes, we had a few days to respond.
Something to keep eyes open for. The pedestrian bridge from Crystal City to National Airport is very likely going to have public engagement opportunities in January. That has been moving along. I'm part of the planning team for that. We have a team of engineers and designers who are working with the county, and it's in what they call 30% design. So trying to agree on shape and size and form with all the players. It's a very complicated project. It involves the airport and the feds and the National Park Service and the railroads and Crystal City and different requirements that all the different parties have. But it's coming around again for another round of.
That's called something to DCA.
CC to
DCA.
CC
Crystal City.
Crystal City to DCA.
Yeah.
Okay, so there will be public engagement on that in January. So I guess next month, let's see if we can assign somebody to that.
Okay.
If we can
Maybe
get a
me or
volunteer.
Andrea. It's our area.
That would be good, but we don't want to put everything on you, Pam.
I mentioned Andrea too.
No, I can help.
Okay. Can I have you as a champion for the CC to DCA effort?
As much as I can champion, of course.
Okay, great.
We'll work on it together.
Thanks, Pam.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's see, what else do I have here on the list? County transportation updates, significant items. So looking through the county transportation updates, the most significant item really is, again, the public engagement effort right now for Pam, the homework that you gave us. It seems like all of the updates are pretty much coming back to the Arlington's transportation future right now. So, and then let's see, other business or announcements. I have one other thing I wanted to mention. It's something I do need to write a letter to the county manager. I just want to make certain that folks are agreeable about this. This was something I should have done a long time ago. We had a meeting in July at Gateway Park where we actually had T&O folks come and sort of talk about the intersections there at Gateway Park and the developments there. I never sent anything, but I do recall one of the issues that I think that we had from that is that not all of the intersections that have been improved, at least at this point, have protected phases for pedestrians. And I would like to send something to the county manager asking that all of the crossings have protected phases for pedestrians. Is that something that folks would support if I sent a draft out for folks to review?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I will, over the next few weeks, I'll try and get something out that we can send to the county manager. So with that, I think I'm at the end of my list. Is there anything that anybody would like to add? Oh, I see Pam has her hand up. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
I sent you and David a list of upcoming engagements today, and I'll quickly go over some of them. There's two different engagements for 3 urban park master plans. There's an open house November 20th, and even better, they're doing a site walk on the 22nd. And you need to RSVP for either of those, but I think they're the 3 parks. Let's see, Maury Park.
Can you share your screen with that, or is that
Well,
not possible?
I will send this out tomorrow or tonight.
Okay.
The whole list. But that's kind of cool.
Okay.
The again, as I mentioned, the final open house for the transportation plan is also Saturday. And River House, which is this huge development in Andrea is my neighborhood. It's like 27 acres. They are doing a final public space feedback that is due November 21st. It's going to be, to some extent, a model for what we are going to be doing in the Pentagon City area and possibly in the county. It's something that we want to pay attention to, and I encourage everybody to participate in it. The Drew Park Master Plan project closes on the 23rd. And again, the advisory group homework is due December 3rd. That's by me, and I need everything else from you before then. You mentioned December 4th is the Langston Boulevard Stars study. Public comments for the Transportation Future Plan are due December 7th. And again, the PAC meeting is December 10th, and the advisory group is December 11th. And the other thing, on November 21st, which I forgot, which was in a message that Lauren sent out, Visualize 2050, the National Capital Regional Transportation Plan. That's important. That's something we should all look at and send comments.
I haven't seen that.
I hadn't looked at it either, and I think I'd maybe seen mention of it a while ago, and I forgot about it. I did send comments last time it came up, but yeah, but all these things will be in a message. And the final thing I want to mention, which John forwarded, John can comment on it, is our January 10th transportation camp will be again at American University. And if you've never done transportation camp, it is fabulous. I probably would not be able to go, but John, you can certainly promote it.
Sure. It's actually at Catholic University this year.
Of Catholic, but I'm sorry, what did I say? Oh, AU.
American.
Yeah. Right.
Normally it's at George Mason, which is very convenient.
Yeah.
But, it's a fun day. It's like a 9 to 5, I think. They call it an unconference, where a lot of advocates show up, transportation, pedestrian, bicyclists, advocates who are in town for a huge convention that starts the following day. And so it's an unconvention, which means people arrive, different experts arrive, different advocates, different people who do it as a profession, people who do it for the community like we do. And if they have a special topic that they're an expert in, or they want to get the word out, they sort of nominate themselves to be a part of the conference. And then people kind of vote, and they move sessions around. And after about an hour in the morning, you've got a conference agenda laid out with all these tracks that was just created that morning based upon who's in attendance and who has material they want to present.
It's mostly impromptu, but I think some folks, knowing that they might want to present, do come with a presentation.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, people come armed with whatever it is that they like to talk about. But it's if you like, I mean, you're here tonight, so presumably you like this topic. It's a fun day to learn and to meet with other like-minded folks and to hear some interesting ideas. So if you're free, I don't have it in front of me, Pam, but maybe it's the first Saturday in January or the second Saturday?
January 10th. So that would be the second. Yeah.
If you're curious, just Google Transportation Camp DC 2026 and
yeah,
you should find it.
I'll
I
be sending the link. Yeah. I'll
I
put it
have
on
one
the bottom of
more.
the list.
I have one more item. I realize. I have a double up commitment right now. I have on December the 8th, Monday, December the 8th. I'm actually in the neighborhood Complete Streets Commission meeting, and there's an SPRC meeting for the second one for Lecky Gardens, which is at North Woodrow Street. Is it possible that somebody could attend that for me? They could attend it virtually. But at this point, I'm not going to be able to do both. Is there any volunteer that might be able to help me with that? This is, again, Monday, 7, usually runs 7 to 8:30. And they are going to have the topic of streetscape. So they will be looking for pedestrian feedback on that. This is a new building that's going up, and it's right behind. It's right off of Langston Boulevard. It's right behind the little awning shops that are up there. I can't remember what the name of those little shops.
Lee Heights.
Lee Heights, yes, the Lee Heights Shopping Center right behind there. They're going to be putting up a building that is 11 stories at the top, and then it as it goes downhill, it cuts back. Is there anyone that might be interested in sitting in for that for me? Because unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make that.
I think I can help if no one else steps up.
Okay, very, very good. That would be good. And again, I think most likely they're usually pretty quick. You know, the one topic is going to be the streetscape topic. I think is the one that we want to weigh in on in terms of sidewalks and pick up and drop off and things of that sort.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you,
Appreciate
John.
that. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right. I will send you details on that, John.
Okay. Thanks, Eric.
All right.
And Eric,
Yes.
did you want to bring up chairs and vice chairs?
Right now, I think we had a lot going on. We'll do that soon. I think we definitely want to do that soon. But
Yes.
we're drifting into 9 o'clock here, so we'll maybe that will be a topic for next month. I would like to. I've been in the acting position for quite a while, and I would like to see some new people potentially taking leadership of this group. So we'll ease into that next month if that sounds good for folks.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, everybody. It was good participation. Really appreciate everybody coming. Thank you, David and Don, for coming for the first time here. We appreciate your feedback and look forward to seeing you at future meetings.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
All right.
Night.
Good night.
See you in January. I hope.